Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be showing you how you can get better at Call of Duty Mobile. Now, I know that this game has been out for a year and a half and most of the people watching are actually really good at the game. Now, for those of the people, if you're really good at this game, then these tips, you probably already know them. I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to get better if you are a fresh noob or you're just a normal player that doesn't know very much about the game. So, on to tip number 1, we will be using the sensitivity controls. Now, sensitivity is crucial to the game. You want to be able to look around quickly, that means you're going to have to change your sensitivity. So, first off, you're going to want to be able to look around quickly, so that means your standard sensitivity. On mobile, if you're playing touchscreen, standard sensitivity is what you're going to want to change. Anything else you shouldn't experiment with. I would just say stick with standard sensitivity because anything else kind of confuses you. Now with standard sensitivity, if you just crank it up a little bit, you're going to be able to go 360 degrees very quickly, so you're going to want to move your fingers very, very slightly. Or just pick a sensitivity that's able to let you look around quickly. Now for you controller players, I'm going to tell you, go to the controller section and there's an MP sensitivity and there's a BP sensitivity. You're only going to want to change both of them, and so what you're going to do is go to MP sensitivity first and change it to high. It's probably going to be on low or medium, and just change it to high or custom. If you're going to change it to custom, first let it go to high and it's going to give you some presets. You're going to want to change each one of the sliders up just by like 5 or 6, and it already makes the sensitivity crazy high, so you're going to want to get used to that sensitivity. Once you're used to that sensitivity, you can change it by going up or down because you'll know if I can turn around quickly or not. And then the BP sensitivity, same thing. You're going to want to change it to high, not low, because this kind of messes with the sensitivity. So now, the next tip I'll be telling you is customization. That means HUD. You're going to want to change your HUD, which means the controls. This is mostly for touchscreen players. For controller players, there's not much customization you can do with the controls. And I think the given ones are pretty easy. For you mobile players, if you're playing with 2 fingers, well, all you want to do is have it how I have it aligned out. I have my bullet or my shoot button right there next to the scope, my reload button close by, so if you're playing with just your thumbs, then this is going to be the optimal. You're going to want to have all your core movements really close to your thumb and have just a little space in the middle so you can move around. And then if you want to have your score streak, so like your purifier, your war machine, whatever your operator has, just click that real quick. So everything is really compact, and if you need to, you can quickly use your index finger to open the map and other stuff like that. I would tell you, keep the map to one corner because having the map in the center is a little intrusive. Another thing you can change is your guns. In Call of Duty, you're given many options for many guns, and that could be LMGs, SMGs, snipers, shotguns. And I usually prefer shotguns as they do a lot of damage and an okay amount of fire rate. Now you can change your gun, so you can change the muzzle, you can change the barrel, you can change the optics, you can change everything on it, so it's optimized for you. And another thing you're going to want to have is a secondary weapon. Without a secondary weapon, the game gets significantly harder because if you're in a tight part of the game where you're not able to look around quickly, and even if you are, you don't have enough ammo left, you're trying to reload while other people are shooting, this is where the secondary weapon comes in. So if you have a knife, then no reload is required. You can quickly turn around and knife everyone, but I'd totally recommend to get a pistol of some kind. So that's either the revolver or the given pistol. And just upgrade the pistol a little bit with your upgrade cards, and the pistol gets very, very overpowered. With a couple shots, you can take out almost anyone, and they're almost as powerful as the ARs. Now, they're only good for up close, so far away I'd recommend a revolver, but secondary weapons only for emergencies unless you're trying to show off, which is totally fine. Another thing you're going to want to do is switch to controller. Now, I know this is asking a lot, but if you can and you have the money, I'd totally recommend going to controller. Because what this does is this opens up your whole screen for viewing, and you have your controller for controlling. So there you can see that totally it makes the game a little bit easier. Another thing you can do is change your HUD, like I said. So if you're not able to pay enough money for a controller, then I totally just recommend changing your controls so it's almost as easy as playing on a controller. And let's say you did get a controller and you're having trouble adjusting. All I'd say is just play a couple of team deathmatch matches and you'll get used to it. It's almost as easy. It's almost entirely easier than mobile, because I always get more kills on controller, so I'm probably going to tell you too to switch to controller, because it opens up the full screen and makes the whole game much easier. Now this is a bonus tip. I did say only 3, but I'm going to tell you, change your optic. I know this is part of customization, but change your optics. If you want to have a scope, if you're going to have a really close scope on a gun that's a shotgun, it's not really helpful because it doesn't help you shoot what's close to you. You want to use an optic that's right for your gun. Alright guys, so those were the 3 tips plus the 4th, which was not so helpful, just a kind of dumb tip that I just threw in there because the video wasn't long enough. So if you did like this video, well, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe, and if you don't want to, that's alright. And I'll see you guys in the next video. You can just enjoy the rest of the video or just leave. Yeah. Goodbye.